Hey SEO followers, welcome to the SEO Follow YouTube channel. First of all, make sure to subscribe because there are going to be lots of amazing videos. And today I'm going to talk about Google Analytics 4, which is a new type of property in Google Analytics. It was announced just 2 weeks ago. Yes, I believe 2 weeks ago. And I switched right away one of my websites. And there are a few things that I've already found out while switching out. So first of all, before we go into the details how you do this, I wanted to share a few facts about GA4. First of all, this is integrated website, basically website and application. So you can have multiple streams under the same roof. So it will work if you have only website, but it will also work if you have a website and, for example, Android and iPhone apps. You will have aggregated data in your Google Analytics 4. The second thing is that you can run the current Universal Analytics and Google Analytics 4 property in parallel. That's totally fine, and you won't have any problems in collecting this information, analytics information from your users. The next thing is that when you upgrade to GA4, you will still need to install a code on your website. And guess what? I'm going to show you how to do this just in a minute. And one more thing is that GA4 is amazing, but also it's very different from Universal Analytics. And it will take time to learn how it works because, trust me, it's completely different and it's a little bit scary. But we are going to go through this. And I'm going to show you two things. First of all, how to upgrade to GA4 if your website has this option already in Google Analytics, and I bet it should have. And secondly, I'll show you quickly how you would install Google Analytics property for Google Analytics 4 property, whatever, to your website. Let's go. What I'm going to do is to upgrade the existing Google Analytics, Universal Analytics property to GA4. To do this, you would need to go to admin, and I'm doing this for my hobbies website because my website is already upgraded. So I can see account, property, and view here, and I'm going to property and just click upgrade to Google Analytics 4. Then I get started, create property, and then the setup assistant runs. So I have a few settings here, and what I need to do, I need to make sure that I install the code. So I click here, and here's when I get the information, the measurement ID. As I said at the beginning of the video, you will still need to install a new code to track GA4. Okay, what do I do with this code? I go to Google Tag Manager. I need to create a new tag. So this is going to be the easiest basic tag that you've ever seen, right? So it's going to be GA4, let's do this capital, property, and then tag configuration. And it already has GA4 configuration here. It's in betas because GA4 is a completely new thing, but this is something that you can use and do not be afraid of this. So I copy this, and as you can see, the measurement ID is completely different. For Universal Analytics, it has UA and then the code number, and here is G and just numbers, random numbers, and letters. So I'm copying it here, and for now, what I need to do is to just make sure that it's going to work on all pages. I can quickly preview this, and yes, now the preview Google Tag Manager is completely different. So I'm going to start, a new page appears, and I'm going to show it here. Okay, so tags fired. GA4 property has fired, which is amazing. This is what I need. So I just click submit, and it would be nice to just say GA4 and publish. So basically I just installed the code on the website and it will work properly. I can add streams if I have apps, but I don't have apps. And also, here you will see that everything is empty because it's just installed. But as I said, I installed it already for my website. So what I'm going to do, I have GA4 on this website. So I'm going to quickly show you how this looks like when the data is already populated, because the data will be collected from scratch. And even if you had universal analytics, the data won't be transferred to your GA4. That's why it just takes time to gather all the data. So as you can see, it looks completely different, and you won't see behavior, acquisition here. There are completely different things. And one thing which is really cool about GA4 is that it tracks some events just by default. So yeah, I can view these events. For example, page view, session start, user engagement, first visit, scroll, and click. This is something, and also downloads. If I had downloads here, I have some downloads on another website. It will also be tracked here. So basically, yeah, this is cool. I like this, but as I said, there's going to be a huge learning curve to know how to use all of these reports. And I strongly recommend you to run GA4 in parallel with Universal Analytics, because this way, first of all, you will see you can analyze how these different systems collect the information differently or the same, and you can also learn. So it would be really hard to switch to just GA4 for reporting, for serious reporting right now. But in case Universal Analytics will go somewhere, I hope it won't, but just in case, it's important to learn GA4 as well. And one more quick thing that I wanted to show you, which is really interesting in my opinion, is that if you want to create, by the way, GA4 doesn't have views, it just has account and property, which is interesting. But if you want to create new property in Google Analytics gives you Google Analytics for property as a default property. And to me, this is a little bit too much because there's not enough documentation on GA4 yet. And I know many people in my SEO course, they were confused when they were installing Google Analytics for the first time. And they were confused because Google Analytics didn't look how they used to see it, right? So that's why that's because they used GA4. But in case you're creating a new property and you need to use Universal Analytics instead, what you can do is to just click Show Advanced Options and then create Universal Analytics property. And you can create both Google Analytics and Universal Analytics simultaneously, but at least you'll have Universal Analytics as well, in addition to GA4. Okay, that was an easy guide how to install Google GA4 on your website. It was a quick guide how to install GA4 property for your website. I hope it was helpful. Comment, like this video 100%, and also subscribe to this channel, because as I said, you're going to see so many amazing videos here. Thank you and have an awesome day. Bye!